tired of three putting? Trust me, I am too. Today we're talking about avoiding three putting by utilizing the proper capture speed. First of all, let's talk about what is capture speed. So capture speed is the speed at which the ball is going into the hole. The hole will actually capture the ball at a certain speed. The faster the ball, the faster the pace that the ball is rolling as it goes into the hole is a higher capture speed, and then of course the lower the speed and the slower it's going to the hole is a slower capture speed. Because we want to make sure we utilize the proper capture speed, and that capture speed is the speed that the ball would be traveling if it was going to go about a foot past the hole. If we're working on longer putts, capture speed is super important. I hear people talking about when they're putting, they have a long putt, that they're not trying to make the putt, that they're just trying to get it down there and lag it up. As a mental performance golf coach, I'm not a big fan of that type of thinking. I think anytime you're putting, or really anytime you're chipping around the green, you should be trying to make the shot. I mean, it's called golf. The whole idea we're playing golf is we're trying to put the ball in the hole. So the more often we're physically trying to put the ball in the hole, the better off it is. So I believe no matter how long the putt, I don't want you to be lagging it up or trying to lag it up within 3 feet or 5 feet or whatever. If that happens, it's totally fine. But the idea is the intent behind it. And the intent behind any putt, as far as I'm concerned, it should be making the putt. And if you have the proper speed when you're trying to make the putt, everything else will work out. Because even if you miss the putt, let's say on the left side or the right side, if you had the proper speed, you're going to have a short putt for the next putt. So capture speed is very important. When you're trying to make a putt, whether it's 5 feet, 10 feet, 20, 30, 40, or 50 feet, I want your capture speed to be a very slow speed as it's going past the hole. The slower the ball's rolling as it goes in the hole, it makes the hole actually bigger and gives you a better chance of holing the putt. I've seen people where they've got like a 3-foot putt and they're just trying to jam it in the back of the hole, and their capture speed is really high. The problem with high capture speed is it lowers or it shrinks the size of the hole. Instead of having the full size hole, if you have a high capture speed, the part of the hole or the target that you have is much smaller in order to let the ball actually go in the hole. If it's traveling too fast and you hit it on the left or the right side, it's either going to lip out, and even if you don't hit it directly in the back of the hole, it's not going to go in. So you want to make sure on whatever size putt that you want to have the proper capture speed. And in my opinion, the capture speed should be something where you want the ball, if you happen to miss the hole, to roll about 6 or 12 inches past. That's a really good capture speed. Here I've set myself up with a 7-foot downhill putt. It's going to go a little left to right. And I want to show you what capture speed means. So when I'm looking at this putt, I'm not thinking, I want to make sure, I get it close. I want to actually make this putt. But I want to do the same thing whether I'm putting from 20 feet, 30 feet, 60 feet. I want to make sure I'm giving the ball the best chance to go in the hole. So with this capture speed, my goal is to see the ball kind of trickling in the hole, or going, if I do miss it, going only about 6 to 12 inches past. So only about a foot past. That would be the best capture speed. So for this first one, I'm just going to try to trickle it down to the hole with that perfect capture speed that if it misses, it goes about 6 to 12 inches past. I missed the putt on the left, but the capture speed was perfect. If that ball was rolling towards the hole, if it was actually within the hole, it would have had tons and tons of space. The hole would have been very large. The capture speed of that was really good. So let's try one. Let's hit one a little harder. Missed that low. So that one went about 12 or 14 inches past, but again, really good capture speed. So if that was traveling towards the hole, if I'd hit a little better putt, it would have given it a really good chance to go in. Now let's hit one a little faster and see what the capture speed is on this putt. So that one's much harder. I ended up putting it about almost 3 feet past. So the capture speed, when that was running past the hole, I would have had to make sure that I had the ball aimed within the hole. It couldn't have been on the edge. Now that first one, if it was just coming on the edge, it would have gone right in, either side. But that last one that went about 3 or 4 feet past, if it had gone even farther past, it would have made the hole even smaller. So the capture size of the hole would have been much, much smaller if I tried to went past. A drill I like to do to work on my speed is I take 2 tees and I put them a putter's length apart, which is close to 3 feet. And then I'll set up my coin right in the middle of the 2 tees. And so the coin will represent my target where the hole is, and then I'll move back to different distances. We'll just do like about 10, 15, and maybe 20 feet. The idea is to get the ball to stop as close to the coin as possible without stopping short of the first tee or going past the other tee. So that one turned out fine. It was a little short, but it was within the tees. That was fine, a little short, good speed though. And that was fine too. I like to vary the distances. You know, you could do 10, 15, 20, 30 feet, depending on how big your practice green is that you're working on. So now that you've learned about capture speed, be thinking about that when you're putting out on the course, and especially work on those speed drills when you're practicing. Speed is the most important part of putting, and the capture speed is very critical. The speed that the ball is traveling as it goes in the hole can make all the difference. All right, please like, subscribe, comment below what you guys are working on in your game and what you'd like to see on upcoming Lessons with Lemmon. All right, cheers guys, have a great day. Capture speed affects the putt. That our capture speed is super important.